Well, that's what we're talking about now, the controversies within the APC. News came out yesterday that the previous acting national caretaker chairman, Mr. Governor Buni of Yobe State, had been removed, and that Governor Abuh of Niger State is now the new chairman. You heard him speak there when he was asked about what was happening with Governor Buni, and he said he's not aware of any position he currently occupies. Well, that was what broke yesterday. So there have been questions as to what happened. I have with me here two gentlemen, faces which by now you might be familiar with if you have been following the crisis within the APC. Aliyu Audu is the convener, APC Rebirth Movement, and Abuh is a member of the All Progressives Congress. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome. This beautiful International Women's Day. Yeah. What is going on within your party? I mean, you have been shouting from the rooftops that evil forces were taking over your party and all was not well. Is all about to be well now?
Yes, I mean, we have reasons to have confidence that finally, I mean, it's taking a little while, but it's good we are back on track. You know, we have leadership, we've seen actions that we have reasons to, you know, believe in again. And members of the party have reasons to, you know, hold their heads, you know, high up. You know, like it's victory to our party, victory to democracy eventually. And
victory already? It's just a change. I mean, the convention has not been organized yet.
That change in itself, it's some sort of, you know, it's success. You know, we live in a society where it is almost seen as sinful to be able to stand up for what is right. You know, people think you have an agenda, you have a reason, you have a motive for standing up for what is right because it is no longer popular. You know, it might take a while, you know, but truth will always come out, and that's what has just happened. You know, you can't ride, you know, a huge number of people so wrongly, ride on them wrongly for such a long time. You know, the D-Day is going to come. And I mean, we're beginning to see that. We have reasons to believe that, you know, the right people in the party have, you know, woken up, and we are taking back our party from the hands of the evil forces who are hell-bent on destroying our party and destroying our nascent democracy.
Well, you were kinder to him earlier, Mr. Abuh. You, I mean, you thought that it was a little hard to say that, you know, there were any evil forces in the first instance. They're all members of the same political party. But from the actions that have currently happened, that happened yesterday, maybe from Sunday up until yesterday, we knew the president was supposed to go directly to London, but he came back home first. I think it was as some surprise, you know, for many people. And then later on went to London on Sunday, but it would look like this was already in the works before he left. So does it confirm for Mr. Audu, he says it confirms what he's been saying. For you, what would you say it says about your own stance? Would you say you're being far too kind to the detriment of your party?
Okay, yeah, so first of all, happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
So I don't know why there is this confusion, okay, especially as to what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday was nothing close to the news that is everywhere on the media, okay. Some persons have the opinion that the caretaker chairman, Buni, has been sacked and all of that. You know, there is no communication to that. There's no statement that has been put out to back that claim. Now, what happened was the caretaker chairman is out of town. He traveled for medicals, you know, out of the country, and there are activities put in place already that is being carried out by the caretaker committee. Now, for every time, it's just unfortunate that a lot of people don't know how this functions. For every time the caretaker chairman is not available, the governor of Niger State, Mohammed Bello, acts in his place. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. So I don't know why there are news everywhere saying that Buni has been sacked. There is no circular or no statement from the party that has been put out saying that categorically. So for now, I think...
So you think he's still the caretaker chairman of the APC?
Of course, he's the caretaker chairman.
That's Buni?
Yes, he is.
Perhaps we should play that back for you. I mean, because we all know right now the president has traveled. We know that the vice president is acting in his position.
Absolutely.
But we know that the president is still the president.
Absolutely.
When he comes back, he's going to be president.
Absolutely.
So when you say that he was away, he's on medical trip, and when he will soon be back, and every time he travels, the governor of Niger State acts on his behalf. I'm sure he would have said that.
He sits in.
Yes, but when he was asked categorically by journalists as to what has become of the position, he says, as far as he knows, he doesn't have any position.
No, I don't think that. I think I would want to let them play
that back, because
yes.
I was sure that was what I heard, that he's not aware that he occupies any position as we speak. Let us play that back, please. If our producers can help us out with that. Well, but while we wait for that, let me see if you have a counter position. He thinks that Mr. Governor Buni is still in position, and it's just because he's out of the country. Okay, hold on a second before you comment on it.
We right now received a report from the zoning committee headed by the governor of Kwara and the deputy senate president. We earlier on saw in the state party chairman, and at the same time we deliberated on progress made so far towards convention. And I think I'm satisfied with what has been done so far. Acting chairman of APC and governor of Niger State.
The chairman of the Caretaker Committee?
Caretaker Committee, yes. Acting chairman, Caretaker Committee.
Okay, so what's the position of Buni this moment?
I'm not aware of any position at the moment. I know he has traveled.
So, I'm not aware, just a moment, I'm not aware of any position at the moment. I know he has traveled. That is an aside. I mean, I think further questioning. But he's not aware of any position at the moment. So,
that statement, I don't see any complication in it.
Okay, let me ask him. Do you see any complication in this statement, Mr. Audu?
I mean, you see, every individual has a right to want to be, morally upright or not. You can be in denial or not. I want to look at it like, imagine the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, who is the acting president now, is asked about the position of Mr. President. It will be clear and straight, isn't it? Just like the information Governor, Bakar Bello has just given.
Are you saying your colleague is in denial?
No, I'm saying certain part of the party, certain members of the party.
He's a member of the party.
But we have a number of people who haven't seen anything wrong in the party for the past 22 months. I mean, we have been at the forefront making noise about all of the wrong things. There are a lot of people who have called us names. A lot of people who look at us as if we are the bad ones, who accuse us of bringing our party issues on air as if it's a cult, as if it's a secret cult where we cannot, discuss happiness in our party when internal communications are all efforts to do this internally are being frustrated.
What I'm asking is a simple interpretation of this statement. I am not aware of any position at the moment. Your colleague thinks that is not a confirmation that Governor Buni has been sacked as an acting chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the APC.
Let me speak to, let me indulge him in that line by saying, if Governor Bello is acting on behalf of Governor Buni, that would have been a direct, transfer of power from Buni to him, right? Then it would have been difficult for him not to be able to, acknowledge that, this person is away and I'm acting on his behalf. The very fact that he said he is not aware of the position of this person says a lot. And that's the position where we're in. I mean, there's been a lot going on these days. He's been mandated to step in, and right the wrongs and give us the convention for the 26th in the right ways. Anybody can interpret whatever they see. I mean, I like to see my cup as half full. If you want to say that's half empty, it's yours. That's how it is. But for this, it's a positive development for my party, and you know, for democracy and we look forward to great things happening and things actually happening in the right way between now and the convention. It's just a couple of hours, and everything will be in the open.
Would you say that you're living in denial? Would you agree that you're living in denial?
It's laughable that anybody will say that I'll be living in denial. It's very clear. Now, the Caretaker Committee is a 13-man committee that have representatives from across, the divide of the political organ. Okay, now, at the end of the day, the NEC was the organ that came up with the Caretaker Committee. Now, if there is going to be any change of leadership in the Caretaker, the NEC is going to sit and it will be communicated without any complication. Unfortunately, this is happening, and people are picking holes from or making statements from a response a governor gave. For me, he said, I don't know his position right now. All I know is that he has traveled. Okay? And they have had several meetings. Yesterday, there were activities in the party. And because the chairman of the Caretaker is not available, doesn't mean activities are not going to go on. The 36...
Was it normal that the APC secretariat, they cordoned off with policemen?
When there are activities, when there are activities, they send in security men to the party secretariat. It is a norm. It is a norm when there are activities. So yesterday, 36 state chairmen were inaugurated. Okay, just yesterday. Yesterday, the zoning committee submitted their report. Okay, so we had a retinue of activities in the party secretariat yesterday. Okay, and for me, I find it difficult to understand why, for something as heavy as sack of the Caretaker chairman, is just from a statement that was made from an engagement, after a press conference, and everybody is running with that the Caretaker chairman has been sacked. There is no evidence, there's no letter to that effect. The president or the spokesperson to the president have not come out to say that the Caretaker chairman has been sacked. And in any case, if anything is going to happen about the Caretaker committee, it's going to be a total sack of the Caretaker committee. The 13-man Caretaker committee is not going to be in isolation, because everybody on that committee is culpable if the party is progressing positively or negatively. Okay, so for me, I don't know why they are singling out the Caretaker chairman, and saying that he's been sacked.
If you were
because even the governor of Niger State is also part of the Caretaker committee, and a lot of people don't know that. He represents the North on the Caretaker committee.
Not central. Not central.
The North Central on the Caretaker committee, just the way the governor of Osun State represents the Northwest.
The Southwest.
The Southwest, sorry. So there is no complication in that statement that was made, because we've not seen an official communication to that effect.
Okay. You have to agree with him on that. Why do we have to do things secretly?
No,
I mean, if your party has sacked its Caretaker chairman, shouldn't it release a statement to that effect?
Now, this is where I don't like to jump the gun, but like we observe, with caution and, raise alarm where there is need to. I don't think anybody has said so far that Buni has been sacked as national chairman of the party. There are processes to these things, right? Like he rightly said, it has to be at the instance of a NEC. Someone has to call the NEC. You need to have a national chairman or acting national chairman to call for NEC meeting. So the first thing is to have a national chairman that will call for the NEC meeting. Now we have a national chairman in acting position in the person of Governor Bello, of Niger State. So the next step is to what? We expect that there will be NEC meeting where decisions regarding the party will be taken. But at this point, what we have seen, the change of, guards at the what's it called, Caretaker committee level, it's positive enough for us to go to town with. It's good. It means finally that people from the right quarters are listening and they are actually looking at some of these things that we have been talking about. Today's what? The 9th? Or the 8th?
There were questions as to how, Governor Bello rose to becoming acting national chairman, whether you can just remove somebody and then elect another person or appoint another person acting national chair. There'll be questions in that regard, but let me flip this to Lagos. I understand my colleagues have questions for you. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Malkwe. Let me begin with Mr. Abuh. Part of the conversations, the arguments that your colleague has made is that at the end of the day, it's about leadership here, and that's where I would want you to start, this conversation from. There's been attempts and counter-attempts to organize a national convention for the party, and it would seem like that's been elusive for one reason or the other. Now, my question here is about the fact that successive administrations of the political party your political party, and maybe everyone, has had to do with leadership, the challenge of leadership, from the very first up until the former Governor Adams Oshiomhole leadership, to the Governor Buni as well. So I'm wondering, don't you see a problem that's beyond just the top guy, as opposed to something that we just remove the one person at the top and expect that things are just going to go hunky-dory?
So there is absolutely no way you have a political party where you have people with different interests and you will not have problems here and there. And I keep saying this.
Are you agreeing that indeed interests get in the way?
As it stands, and
did you hear me?
It's natural and normal that we have all this confusion here and there,
You said interests, people with different interests. Are you saying that there are interests
Absolutely.
that get in the way of party administration, of the larger interests of the party?
Now, interest varies, okay? The point is, we have a date for a convention, okay? Regardless of all the problems here and there, we already have a date, it's 26th. The date has not come and passed, and nobody has communicated to the party members that 26th is not going to hold, okay? So for me, I think what we should be concerned about and what we should be discussing right now should be how is the convention going to take place, and
but the dates have come and passed before.
What consensus are we planning to have?
Mr.
Okay?
Abuh, the dates have come and gone before. If you can hear me, the dates have come and gone before. So doesn't that justify the concerns of those who are saying maybe there is something playing that is not, known to everybody?
Absolutely. And I've said it here on this set that because we have had this date shifted a couple of times, it has left a lot of people worried, and it has thrown a lot of people into a paranoid state, okay? So, and I understand
just
with a whole lot of people
on that matter, on that point that you have agreed, doesn't that then justify the concerns about the leadership of Governor Buni as the APC CEPCC chairman?
So, justifying the concerns does not negate the fact that there is a process to take out the caretaker chairman, okay? And we have not seen that process happen. So, for anything anybody is saying about the acting chairman or the ousting of the caretaker chairman is just based on assumption, okay? So, until we get an official communication to that effect, anything anybody is saying right now will just be saying it out of assumption or how you want it to be in your head.
Well, on that same matter, Mr. Abuh, is that in any way saying that there is a banana peel for everyone who acts as chairman of APC?
Well, I think leadership comes with its challenges, and I don't think this is different, okay? So it will be very difficult for you to please all parties, and this is what is happening, and this is not to justify all the confusion or the issues or challenges we have at the moment in the party, okay? But I know that for where stakes are high, there will always be issues like this, and we'll overcome it, we'll overcome it.
Okay, let me take this to Mr. Audu now. It would seem that even within the APC there is more confusion as to what's going on than in the general public, because right there within your party, opinions are diverse, especially with this latest twist of events. But if indeed, I mean, your point, your opinion about, well, Governor Buni being out and Governor Bello being in as the acting chairman, that would imply that the governors, the APC governors, are against Governor Buni. Is that a possibility you have considered, and do you think that is true?
You see, I think it's about time we shift away from making, making this about individuals instead of making it about issues. You know, like my brother, my friend here said, we should have had this convention long ago. They have shifted it and shifted it and shifted it again. Anyone who is concerned about the state of the party would be concerned. Be you ordinary member, senator, rep member, or governor. I mean, you will not be honest with yourself if you really want what is right for this party and not be concerned over this. And time again, the governor Mai Mala Buni has shown that him and his caretaker committee, you know, are not in sync. We have seen communication from the caretaker committee that other than him and the secretary, every other member of the caretaker committee, you know, find as strange as, you know, even other members or even the public. I mean, it's been a show of Mai Mala Buni and the secretary for a larger part of their 22 months or 23 months in charge. He's not been able to carry his committee. So you understand that naturally, we are not going to sack the entire committee. You know, nobody's asked if it's even saying Mai Mala Buni has been sacked. But what we are clearly saying is we have like about 2 weeks to the convention and we have not started sales of form. There are a lot of other things that should have been done that we're not doing. I mean, for many members who are not sure, you know, as far as Mai Mala Buni keeps, you know, being the acting chairman, a lot of us won't have faith that 26th of March will be sacrosanct. So the change of guards, you know, at that level has, you know, restored some level of hope in us that, yes,
Mr. Audu,
you know, the right thing is about to be done.
You're not speaking to that question I asked. Yes, I understand that the convention is 18 days away, and that's a major one. But we need to fully understand what's at play here, and perhaps you can give more insight. So again, I ask, if indeed he's been removed, that would imply that the governors, in fact, let me even add, the president, are not exactly on the same page with the way he's running the party. Do you agree with that?
The president has made it clear time and time again that he isn't on the same page. I mean, you remember clearly it was in public when Mr. President warned that at this rate, we might just be making ways for the opposition to take over the government. I mean, that's a sign, that's a confirmation of him not being happy with the way things are being run. This isn't necessarily about the governors being unhappy with Mai Mala Buni. Nobody should be happy with the way things are going at the moment. And, you know, if an action is being taken to right all of these wrongs that we have, you know, shouted about, then it's something we embrace and we welcome. And, you know, it's about time, you know, we bring back that hope that the members have. It's not about the governors being against Mai Mala Buni. It's not about him losing. It's about everybody finally realizing that we are fast running out of time to do the right thing. And, you know, we have finally decided to do the right thing because what we have, what it takes to do the right thing as a party. And all of this, in the next couple of hours, you know, most of this uncertainty will be made clear, and, you know, everybody will see what direction we're heading as a party.
Well, certainly. It's been also reported that Governor Buni has been says he will come back to office today or something like that. I think I saw that on one of the dailies. But Mr. Abuh, let me just ask you, because clearly you don't believe that, well, he's out of office. You still think that he's in office. But help us understand this. We'll listen to Governor Bello yet again, just to be clear what he said, since you interpreted it in a particular way. Why would he say that he does not know the position of Governor Buni as at that period? Why would Governor Bello say that?
I think in the context that he said what he said, I don't think that position, the statement position, in the context of what he said, had to do with the position of the seat of the caretaker chairman, you know. So, but at the end of the day, You know,
so what does it have to do with?
From a statement, you can have...
Mr. Abuh, what do you think it has to do with?
Over
his geographical position, or what position do you think he thought was being asked him?
So for me, I clearly know that it did not have anything to do with, you know, the position of the caretaker chairman, Governor Mai Mala Buni. Okay, so I mean, he was asked a question, and like I keep saying, let's even forget what.
No, so I just want to be clear. What position do you think he was being asked about?
At the end of the day,
no, Mr.
is
Abuh,
there a communication?
Before you move on, what position do you think he was being asked about? If not, I mean, they were at the APC secretariat. They were talking about the leadership of the party. In fact, they just asked him what position, you know, he was acting on. So what position do you think they were asking him about Governor Buni?
So he said he doesn't know what position he is. That all he knows is that the governor has traveled. Okay, and you see, most times people ask questions mischievously so that you give a response that just throws everybody into confusion.
No,
okay?
no, you give.
But I will keep standing.
Mr. Abuh, you give the right response.
There has not been.
So if I'm being asked, pardon me, Mr. Abuh, if I'm being asked that, I mean, what position are you on this show? I wouldn't say I don't know. I'll be honest and say you're a guest, and we're grateful you joined us. If I'm asked what position is Mr. Audu, I say he's a guest. If I'm asked what position is Maokwe, I say she's my colleague, a co-anchor on Sunrise Daily. I wouldn't say I don't know. I mean, I would say the truth. So again, why would he say that if indeed, you know, he's still in power?
So at the end of the day, Governor Bello has not said, in his statement, he has not said that the caretaker chairman, Mai Mala Buni, has been sacked. Okay? So, except somebody pulls out a tape and tell me that, and we hear him on record, on camera, saying that the governor of Yobe State, who is the caretaker chairman, has been sacked. You know, he has not categorically said that, and there has not been an official communication to that effect. So whatever we are saying right now is just based on assumption. Okay, and for me, I don't think the media house should even be encouraging those kind of things, because there should be an official communication to, if a person of a caretaker chairman as high as a governor who is acting or who is piloting the affairs of the leading party, I mean, there should be an official communication to that effect, and it should come from the neck.
Well, we'll see how that eventually pans out. It's early days yet. There is still some controversy. Even the papers had on the front pages this morning confusion in APC. Some people are clear. Others are still saying, no, there needs to be a clear-cut communication as to the status of Governor Mai Mala Buni, who, up until yesterday, at least from what we know, was the caretaker chairman of the APC caretaker committee. Well, gentlemen, we will see how things eventually pan out. We have to thank you both for coming on Sunrise Elite this morning. Aliyu Audu is the convener, APC Rebirth Movement, and Andrew Abuh is a member of the All Progressives Congress. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, just to update you or to fill you in on the fact that protesters are trickling in preparation for the 1 Million Women March at the National Assembly. Our correspondent, Kayla Megwa, who is currently on the ground, says that the gate to National Assembly is currently locked, but some women have been seen around waiting for the protest to start. They certainly mean business. Yeah, those are the pictures. You can see right there. We urge you to stay with us here on Channels Television as we bring you the details when we have them. They certainly mean, look at that. I mean, the women are already all set. As soon as those gates are open, I believe that the protest will start in earnest. But they're already gathering. That's information we have. And waiting for that 1 million women march to the National Assembly to start. Well, we also have feedback from you as we wrap up this morning. And this first one is from Festus Akimboiwa. It's a tweet. He said, APC is a house against itself, and it's doubtful if it can ever stand if they don't stick together for the good of the party. It's shameful that a ruling party can be so disunited. That's the standpoint of Festus Akimboiwa.
Well, Dixon is talking about International Women's Day, and via a mail, gender balance enhances healthy competition. Rather than looking for free meals or special seats at National Assembly to create confusion in our constitution, we should legislate on ensuring that women are given equal opportunities as the men. Same education, same job opportunities, same ranking, including military and paramilitary and other aspects of human endeavors. Early marriage, street hawking by school-age girls, denial of job opportunities and promotion should be criminalized. Happy International Women's Day, he concludes.
Well, take a look at this tweet from Law Alpha C2, or Law Alpha C2, saying Nigerian women have capacity and natural talent, except that many of them are still very ignorant and unconcerned about the goings-on in the polity and contributions to make to restore sanity and engender growth.
Olagunjo Oladele says women need representation in all technology. We are all different, but we need diversity of thoughts. And we don't have it when people of one gender with the same education and cultural background make tools without factoring in gender perception.
Professor Enakina says, for a sustainable future for women, we must eradicate gender-based economic and political disadvantages against our women, like guaranteeing equal advantages for women to have access to fund to participate in economic enterprises and political participation.
Oh, we'll just take one more
and
from
Trinity has...
Markwe, go ahead. It's International Women's Day, please.
I was going to go ahead anyway, but thank you, the kindest gentlemen I work with. The advocacy should be for women to support their fellow women when they contest elections. A lot of women contest elections but don't win, even when women claim to be more in number than women. A happy Women's Day. Well, as I did say earlier, women certainly mean business today, and the progressives, that's the progressive men can join us. If you are he for she, a true he for she, and we've seen so many on this program, be with us at the protest. Well, be with us, yes, us. I will not be there physically, but I'm with them in spirit. To march, to press home the point that we do need a more equal world. It benefits all of us in the end. Thank you so much for watching this morning, and happy International Women's Day to all women out there. Thank you for watching once more. I'm Malkwe Ogun Yusuf.
Well, an educated woman is not a threat, but an asset. I'm Caretaker.
Have a wonderful day. I'm Ayo Makinde.